So welcome to Extended Thinking with Polyvore for the FITC 2013 conference. So first let's get into the title. With Extended Thinking, I'm referring to the level 4 of the depth of knowledge levels. It correlates to Bloom's two highest levels of the revised Bloom's taxonomy. This is really where our students do problem solving and higher level thinking. Design, connect, synthesize, apply concepts, critique, analyze, create, and prove. So, now that you know what I mean by extended thinking, let's get back to the title. What is Polyvore? If you're unfamiliar with Polyvore, it is defined by Wikipedia as a community-powered social commerce website. Members curate products into a shared product index and use them to create image collages called sets. So Polyvore is much more than that. It has intuitive tools and a built-in image index that I believe can be a great tool in the classroom. So I see Polyvore as a free web-based tool that is engaging for students and motivating and a great place for them to do more extended thinking. So how can we use Polyvore? This is what I want to show you. Let's go directly to the website. Here we are at the Polyvore homepage website. The first thing that you want to do is create a user profile and sign in with an email address. And of course, every teacher will decide if that's going to be done on an individual student basis or as a whole class. Then I'm going to go to create. There are a lot of other things on Polyvore, but I'm just going to focus on that. So I'm going to create a set. Now, the nice thing about this is that I have my white space here, and all of the images and embellishments are brought in through my search index on the right. Now, let's say my assignment is to explore different texture and color in a painting. So I'm going to choose to look for a Picasso painting. So Picasso painting. Now notice here I have clothing, accessories, and embellishments. There's no list for painting or furniture, but it's all inside of this index. So I choose Picasso painting, and here I have pages of different Picasso paintings that are referenced throughout the internet. I'm going to choose this one, and here I have, if I click on this, it brings me to the link from the page that it came from. And I click on add to set, or I can view details, or I can like it. So I'm going to add this to my set. Now when Polyvore brings something in, it decides what it thinks is white space and automatically cuts that out. So I want to click on the middle image to bring my full image into, and I can move it around. Then I can also take anything I bring in, I can rotate it. If I don't like what I've done, I can go back, or I can go forward. And then I can flop it, which moves it horizontally, or I can flip it, which is vertical. I can clone it, make more. This goes for everything I bring into Polyvore. I can move it forwards and backwards if I have other things in my set that I want to be in front or behind each other item. So now I'm going to look for something else. Let's say I want to title this. I'm going to title this Orange. So I'm going to go in here and go to text and choose a font that I think works with this for a different reason. Add to set. So what happens is every time I bring in a font, it says I love Polyvore. I just have to go up here and write what I want to write. So I'm going to say the color orange. And then I update it. And again, like this, I can resize this. I can bring this out so it all stays in one line, and I can move it around the page where I want to. This is the powerful thing of Polyvore. Other software is complex, very difficult to use, and takes a long time to learn. And I can do all of this in just a matter of minutes without any kind of training. So I want to do an interior set for this. So I'm going to look for an orange chair. I find pages and pages of orange chairs. I can click on one, I can find out where it's for sale or where it's referenced from, and I can add it to my set. Now, like before, this comes in with the white space already cut out. I can add the white space back in, or I can decide I like it in front of my painting without the white space, because this I think matches some of the orange tones that I have in my painting. So I might look for something else. I can just search orange. And this comes up with outfits, shoes, everything orange. So I could just find a number of orange things that I thought matched the same tones of orange in my painting. So this is a brief explanation of how to bring things in and create a simple set inside of Polyvore. I will of course click over here to save my draft or to publish it onto my profile. Now I want to show you some ideas I think teachers can use to bring Polyvore and that extended thinking into the classroom. So let's start off with some ideas of Polyvore as a digital collage. To the left of the screen, I have the elements of design And with this, I only used the embellishment tool that was in the index, and I brought different things in to experiment and really connect the ideas of the elements of design with texture, line, value, color, space, size, and shape. This could be a great thing to do in an art class, but Polyvore isn't only for art teachers. I think Polyvore could also really work well with literature, and it's also not only about fashion. So sets can be designed around objects and interiors. This is a mood board for a set design for the first act of The Importance of Being Earnest. If you're doing period literature, this can heighten the student's understanding by creating set designs and connecting the descriptive words from the text to the visual elements. This is a little bit less design-oriented, but could be an engaging exercise in a math or a facts class. You could challenge students to create outfits or room designs that are similar but have different total prices. You could then apply discounts or taxes, and this would allow for students to apply the concepts that they are learning in a visual and a fun way. Another example using literature could be in character analysis. Hedda Gabler was written in 1890, and in the fourth act she was in mourning. A challenge could be to understand Hedda and analyze what she might wear if the play were set in different time periods. We of course have the whole index to search through, even historical images, and I found different things that I thought could work if Hedda were set in the 1950s or even in 2013. I think this just gives students another way to connect to the material that we're learning and make it more interesting for them. So let's go to another art and design example. For this final example, I chose Matisse's Blue Nude from 1954. I analyzed it, synthesized it, and created a set of objects that I found were visually connected to the art. This all through the index tool in Polyvore. And as you see here, when I look at my final set, I see everything I've referenced. This is going to really help with any kind of bibliography and copyright information that the students need to present. So now that I've given you a few ideas of how to bring Polyvore into the classroom, let's go back to Polyvore and experiment a little bit with creating sets.
Okay, so going back to our set that we started creating before, I'm going to create an interior set designed around the elements of design that I find in Pablo Picasso's painting. I've given it its title and the date, and now, as you can see, I'm going through the index and looking for different pieces that I think can work, according to texture, according to color. And this is really where, for students of any kind of class, it's a great tool to use, because the school doesn't have to invest in a large amount of software to do this. They don't have to have different Adobe products. This is all available online. And again, if students have enough time to play with this, even outside the classroom, it's a really fun and very engaging way to understand the concepts in literature and in art and bring something very visual into whatever it is that they're learning about. The other great thing about Polyvore sets is that as they're working, they can be saved and published, and then other students can leave comments on them saying, I think that was a good choice, the texture really matches, or the mood that you've created in this is very much like the literature or the art or whatever it is the student was trying to create. Then they can go back in and change it and modify it according to critiques. So it's like so many other works, it's never really finished, and the students can continue to build and learn as they go.
So as you see, I'm finishing this set up, and I'm going to save it and show you another set I made on the same theme of finding an artist, a painting, and finding objects that are similar. This one is actually a fashion set, and I found different images and pieces that I thought worked. And so on the right is all the bibliography and the actual websites in which the images and the products are found. As you can see here, I found different elements according to shape and line that I thought respected the elements that were present in Picasso's painting. Now this is all open to interpretation, and that's what makes it really great for extended thinking. So of course, Polyvore may only be one part of a project and be accompanied by verbal presentations, group critiques, and formal written analysis. But in any way, it's a great tool to motivate students, to get them engaged, and to get them using the higher level thinking. Thank you for watching. My name is Rebecca Hare.